Hi friends. So I wanted to share a process on how to actually heal your body. Now this process is something I've used a few times now, and each time it has really dramatically produced some results for me. A lot of psychologists have written about this, a lot of spiritual teachers have written about this, but I just wanted to share what I've been doing, a little 8-step process on how to heal your body if it's not healing. So first and foremost, I'm not a doctor, so if you're looking for medical advice, you're not going to get it here. And this is a channeling, this is a spiritual process on energetic imbalances or energetic blocks that you have in your body. So let's begin. If you want to watch another video, I already did another video on how and areas that it healed my body and my hip, other things like that. So anyways, yeah, if you want to watch those, you can watch those. But this is the 8-step process for how I've utilized this to heal my body. Step number 1. Get a voice recorder on your phone. So if you have an iPhone, get your voice memos out. I don't know if you have another phone, but get your voice memo out on your phone. Click the start button. If you don't want to do that, you could even turn on your videos on your iPhone or whatever and click that. Once you do that, close your eyes and begin to pay attention to your breathing, your breath. Now you want to put your body in a similar state of meditation. This is almost a state of self-hypnosis, and so that's what you're going to be doing. In a channeling state, you're in the theta frequency, your brainwave frequency. So you're moving through the stages of, oh my gosh, beta, wide awake, alpha, low meditative, right before sleeping, theta, deep meditative. You want to settle yourself into a theta state. So all you really have to do that is to close your eyes and to focus on your breathing. Just pay attention to the inhalation, the belly rising as you inhale, and then as you exhale, the belly falling. Just pay attention to that. Simple as that. Now, step number 3, focus on the area of your body that you feel you're having discomfort with or that needs healing. If it happens to be an autoimmune issue, possibly focus on your spleen. That's one of the major organs. Focus on your navel chakra, so your belly. It'll arise, but just find an area. If it does happen to be a specific point in your body, focus on that. If it just seems to be overall global happening, I would do my best to focus in on the area that you feel the most discomfort. So say you're having a full-blown autoimmune issue and you tend to feel that mostly in your head or in your hips or your knees. Just focus on that area. So it should be kind of localized. Bring your attention to that area after you've really allowed yourself to breathe, which is a few minutes. Number 4. Once you've focused in on the area, this is where it gets pretty interesting. You're going to imagine yourself as the area. So actually, in my specific case, it was my hip that I used this initially on. So I closed my eyes, I started breathing, I just brought my awareness, my attention to my hip, and then it was almost like my mind dropped down into my hip, if you will. I became my hip. This is where it's really important. You have to become the area that you're having issues with. Once you become the area that you're having difficulties with, we jump into step number 5. Step number 5 is to just say out loud what it is you're feeling, what it is you're experiencing, whatever arises, speak it out loud. So for my specific case, I went into my hip, and then I just started saying, I don't, like, I was actually, like, my hip kind of came up and became my consciousness. That sounds real fun, but it's interesting. So anyways, become the body part. And I would say things like, I don't feel supported. I feel like I have to do it all on my own. I don't feel strong enough to do this. Things like that. I also, in my specific instance, when I put my consciousness and my awareness into my hip, it looked black to me. Like the energy was black. It wasn't a vibrant white. It wasn't clear. It was black. Like there was stuck, dense, heavy energy there. Now, step number 5 is important because you're going to continue to do that, continue to speak this out loud until you feel that you have spoken everything that you felt, everything that you were thinking, all of it. Everything that came up, arose, everything that arose, once that's complete for you, could be 5 minutes, could be 2 minutes, could be 10 minutes, could be an hour, I don't know. It's going to be what's comfortable for you. Once that's complete, bring your awareness back into your body, out of the area. Feel yourself back in your entire body. And then we jump into number 6, which is stop the recording and listen to it. Now, I've noticed from my hypnosis practices, when I've been doing quantum healing hypnosis with people, that once I tell them that the most important component is to listen to the recording because it helps get that information into their subconscious mind, so that on a somewhat conscious level they can access that information, it doesn't happen. So number 6, stop the recording and listen to the recording. That's important. Listen to it. There goes Caesar to help maybe fence fight the dogs behind us. Now number 7. Step number 7. You've listened to your recording. You've channeled your pain. You've channeled your discomfort. You channeled your whatever it is, illness. You understand that energy. Number 7 is very important as well. Communicate to that area of your body. If you know that you're not feeling safe, and that's something that came up for you, in my instance, I didn't feel supported. That hip, that energy that had bound itself to my hip, that 19-year-old Zach energy, bound itself to my hip. And the way that I could help heal that pain, that discomfort, was by communicating to it as if it was a separate entity of me, if that makes sense. So that pain was old energy stuck in my now body. Just like your past interactions, relationships, experiences created a specific energetic imbalance, energetic block in your body. You have to, based on your past, right? Going back to the past. But that's no longer who you are now. Hopefully you've changed a little bit. But now you have to communicate with that aspect of yourself. Instead of just saying, my hip hurts, my hip hurts, my hip hurts, my hip hurts. I now know that my hip will start hurting if I'm having an emotional disturbance, if I'm not grounded, if I don't feel supported, if I feel isolated, if I feel overwhelmed. I know for me that my hip starts to hurt when I feel those things. But yes, number 7, ask your body after you've kind of, like a child, lulled it to sleep. What do you need, my child? What can I help you with? And also reminded it you are safe, you are supported, right? So anything that you were communicated through, anything that came through you in that channeling aspect, step number, oh, what was that? Number 5, step number 5. Once you've communicated that, use that information to remind your body that right now, that energy, that right now, you're healed, you're safe, you're supported, you can trust, whatever comes up for you. And then ask what else that energy needs in order for it to be free. All we're doing in this entire 7-step process, I'm going to give you step 8 in a second, is helping the energy find peace and move on. It's being held in your body for a specific reason. Even if you think you broke your leg because you randomly twisted it, there was a reason that you broke your leg in that moment, in that instance, that part of your life. Everything is a communication from your inner being, from your source self, your infinite wisdom, communicating with this conscious body and this mind, this ego, in this time-space reality, that there is either an imbalance or you need to work on something. And so if we're not listening, because we don't have a meditation practice, we don't have a practice to go inward and hear those suggestions, our inner being will continue to communicate with us until eventually we do hear us, and or until it does hear us, our higher self. And the last resort is for physical illness, physical discomfort to show up. I really should have put this in the beginning, but hell, you've made it 12 minutes now. You got the good stuff. So it's our way of releasing this energy. Now, the step number 8, this brings it all together. You then see yourself, you utilize the law of attraction, you see yourself as whole. So after you've done the first 7 steps, you've channeled your pain, you've channeled your illness, you've channeled your discomfort, you've moved through it, you've asked what it needs, you've reminded it that it's safe, that you're safe, that everything's okay. You then give it a deeper suggestion, and you see your body in full wholeness. So this is when we utilize the law of attraction. That which is like unto itself is drawn. Thoughts become things. We use a deep sacred law. But things ye desire when ye pray, believe ye receive them and ye shall have them. Our prayer is our visualization. Our prayer is our thoughts of ourselves in wholeness after we've gone through the steps of understanding why it's shown up in the first place. Sometimes step 8 isn't even necessary. I prefer to utilize step 8 because I realize without step 8, it doesn't cement fully the healing process. It doesn't remind my body of what my true nature is. Yes, my body already knows what its true nature is, but if something has gone askew, I'm just giving it a subtle, subconscious reminder of this is not only who we were, but this is who I want to be. And that's it. That's the 8-step process for how to heal yourself. Now again, I am not a doctor. I'm almost a health coach. I'm definitely a life coach. I'm an exercise physiologist, and I'm a quantum healing hypnosis therapist. But that is my process for myself that I've utilized. I probably could have helped myself a lot sooner had I known those first 7 steps, but here I am now after a lot of years in struggle, and I hope that a lot of my learning processes will hopefully help you heal your body, heal your wounds, alleviate your discomfort so that you can live the most fulfilling life that you possibly can. But yes, that's the 8-step process that I've utilized. It's worked for me. I'm now running and sprinting, where before I could hardly walk, put pressure on my leg, all types of things. It helped me the other week when I was dealing with digestion issues, and then all of a sudden it kept asking, what's, body, communicate with me. And then this little thing clipped, and it clicked in my head, and I had the thought that said, a little voice that said, you're having trouble digesting this situation in your life. And it happened to be a situation that I'm dealing with, and okay. All right, I get it. So it's much quicker, and that was a 3-day process versus a 7-year process. So hopefully this 8-step process will work for you, so your 8-year process becomes 8 hours, and then you're donezo. But anyways, thanks for watching. You made it 16 minutes. I appreciate you. I love you very much. Sorry it took so long for me to do a video. This actually is a video inspired by a comment that I got on my last video of how to heal your body, talk to your pain, and I finally got it out. So again, I appreciate the comments. I appreciate your feedback. And hopefully this works for you as much as it works for me. So I love you guys. Sorry it was so long. Talk to you next time.